The Baha'i concept of service revolves around seeking a way in which Baha'is can contribute to the betterment of the world. And in so doing, we do that through action. And every action that we do is translating the words of Baha'u'llah into a practical means. And I'm also involved in different activities which are working with kids aged 11 to 14 and their development in terms of how they relate to spiritual concepts and how they relate to this world that is constantly changing. And that if this is a material world in which we're living, how can we bring in these spiritual qualities? How can we see what our true reality is, that harmony and religion, the harmony of science and religion, and how these two things work together. We started to clean our entire neighborhood, and we got to know the community, and it was really beautiful because you're really building these bonds of friendships with the junior youth who are aged 11 to 14, but also them with each other, and then also as a community ourselves, we are also building with the outside community. I was raised in a family that was surrounded by service, and I knew at a young age that the things we were doing, even though I don't think I knew this directly, I think indirectly and subconsciously I knew that our existence wasn't for ourselves. Our existence was for the betterment of mankind. And in so doing, we would have people over all the time, and we would have elevated conversations where people were truly trying to seek out knowledge and seek out what the generation and diffusion and application of knowledge and of a true source was. I didn't feel any pressure to be a Baha'i. It was never... My parents raised me to love humanity and to investigate truth, and to do so with kindness. And that led me to go on my own path. When I saw the opening of these 9 terraces that lead up to the Shrine of the Bab in Israel, I really recognized that there was some truth in the fact that there were thousands and thousands of people from many different many different ethnicities and cultures walking up these 9 terraces. And I think as a 10-year-old, there was some connection with the soul. And in that, I really wanted to be a Baha'i. And in that process, I asked my parents to, if I could sign a declaration card which would state that I was fully committing to being a Baha'i. And I don't really know what I was thinking when I was 10, but I think when we look back at children have such an innate knowledge, and they are so pure at heart, that when you can see truth, it's very easy for you to make certain decisions. When I was 15, my parents were asked to serve at this Baha'i World Center in Haifa, which was a very wonderful opportunity. And so when I was 15, we moved, and many years went by. I went to American International School, which was in Tel Aviv, and it was such an opportunity for me to learn about different cultures, and I grew a lot. But then when I was 17, 3 of my grandparents passed away. And it was very hard because it was in a span of 6 months. And so my dad's mother passed away, and then my mom's mother passed away, and then my dad's father passed away. It was the first time I was ever exposed to death. And so I started to question, why is this? Why do we experience such pain? What is the separation? What is this life? And I think that was the first time I really began to explore and investigate what truth is and what reality is. There was just a lot of emotions, and in this process I decided I wasn't going to pray. I wasn't going to be. I just needed to detach from this spiritual side of my life. And then when my second grandmother passed away, it was kind of the same thing. I was just pushing away and refusing to acknowledge something that was such a part of me, which was the Baha'i faith. But then when my grandfather passed away, my mom had sent me this link to a certain video of a woman who was experiencing a near-death experience. And I had refused to watch it for months, for maybe 3 months. And I decided, okay, I'll watch it now. And she described her experience as a 16-year-old who didn't have any connection with God. But when she died, she said that it was the most conscious she had ever felt. And that brought me some form of peace to know that when she had gone through this near-death experience, she wasn't completely dead. And when I really started investigating our true purpose and our existence and what my role is as an individual and what my responsibility is in terms of contributing to the betterment of mankind, it didn't seem feasible that God wouldn't exist and that being a Baha'i was trivial. And so that's when I really decided to accept my journey as being a Baha'i and contributing to the betterment of mankind.